Hi, I'm Guy.
And I'm Justin.
And we're the co-founders of Stomping Ground Brewing Company. I'm originally a chemical engineer. My first job out of uni was in the beer industry. So I've been in the beer industry for the best part of 30 years and developed a passion for it pretty early. And I've devoted my life to beer.
I've been working in hospitality for nearly 30 years, working in all kinds of different types of outlets, from bars and restaurants and nightclubs and everything in between. And that overlapped with a love for beer, and I've stayed in it ever since.
We kind of really wanted the name to capture a lot of what the business was going to be all about. Our brand has got this real sense of nostalgia, this sense of place and sense of belonging, sense of community, and we felt that Stomping Ground really captured all of that. There's a lot more to building a brand than just the visuals. They're definitely a really important part of the overall process, but I think the thing that we did well was really identify what the brand stood for rather than jumping straight to visual identity. You need to know who you are, what you stand for, and what your brand represents. And then you can have a visual manifestation of that brand, you can have a tone of voice, you can have a culture that comes out of that. So it's about understanding who you are first and foremost.
And who you're not. I think what colours can be used, what can't, what kind of words can you use and what can't you. I think it is as much about what you aren't as what you are.
We all agreed that we were willing to spend up front on really getting this right, getting the essence of what we stood for right from day one, and we were willing to invest in it. We wanted to create an iconic brand identity. We wanted to have an icon that really was recognisable, even without the words and the name around it. And we ended up coming up with the 3 feet. So we invested, we spent time and effort getting that right, and we're really glad we did.
Simplicity is important, I think. I think you can try and get too complicated and it doesn't really resonate with people. Something that's replicable across different elements within the business as well, from menus to cans to signage to street posters, so people get used to it, they become familiar with it.
I remember meeting with one of the industry heavyweights, and he said to me, you want your logo to be able to fit onto a bottle cap and it to really stand out. So that was part of the design brief. We wanted to really pop within a circle.
When it comes to the design of the cans particularly, a lot goes into it. When it came to the early design phase, I think we all felt when we saw it and we loved it, we'd know it. And until we got there, we were willing to keep trying and trying and trying.
We wanted it to be timeless. We wanted it to really stand up on its own, and then also create the foundations for other versions of the same brand, so that we could replicate that across different SKUs within our range. But as soon as we got that one right, it made it really easy to get the rest right. Being able to stand out on a shelf is critical. I remember one designer telling us that when everyone's screaming, sometimes it's better to be quiet. But then there's also little subtle things that go into it as well. What's called semiotics that tell the consumer little things without necessarily writing it down on the label or on the can.
One of them is green and pale ales, and probably off the back largely of brands like Cooper's. Blues tend to be lagers, so those sorts of cues can indicate the style of a beer just by the colour that is highlighted on the can.
You can either lean into that or you can try and go against the grain. It just depends on where you are, how mature the market is, how mature your brand is, all of these things. What you want to do is you want to create as many touch points as you possibly can to showcase your brand and also get people familiar and aware of your brand. One big one for us is we've got these 2 big grain silos in our car park that we have our base malts delivered into, and we've painted them up like cans so they look fantastic.
Our Zeller terminals that we have sitting on the bars have the logo prominently displayed, which is a great opportunity just to reinforce the branding in the venue. We've got grease-proof paper wrapped sandwiches in the venues that have got the Feet logo on it. The online store that we have as well has little cues here and there, whether it's the Feet packaging tape on the outside of the boxes so you know what's coming when it arrives.
It becomes subconsciously something that they're familiar with, so that when they're making their purchase decision in other venues or in bottle shops, they connect the dots between their experience with the actual brand itself.
Partnerships have played a crucial role at various stages throughout the journey, from really small grassroots soccer team, Brunswick Zebras, through to now an AFL club, but also not-for-profit organisations. The arts, we've just signed with the Comedy Festival. They're a crucial part of who we are.
They play a critical role for a couple of different reasons. One of those reasons, it legitimises our brand. You become a little bit more serious because you're now partnered with a serious brand. And then the other part would be just reaching new markets. We're good at talking to beer consumers and people within certain geographies, but then some of our partners might have a really good market in areas that we might not necessarily be able to reach. The third part I'd say is it's about shared values. We partner almost exclusively with brands that we feel we share some solid values with, and that might be about inclusion, diversity, equality. There's a whole bunch of different values that a partnership can help you really highlight and amplify.
In that very first instance with the Brunswick Zebras, they just wanted some beer for training. They had about 150 members at the time, a pretty small inner city club, and we saw it as an opportunity to grow with them. We've just celebrated 10 years with those guys. They've built the club to 600 members and they're turning people away because they can't fit them in. And we had their season launch here last week and 160 people turned up. That's what can happen if you nurture these relationships. You sometimes don't know where it's going to lead. So just assessing it on its dollar basis at the very beginning is a little bit short-sighted. One thing can lead to another and it actually ends up being far more valuable than you could have imagined.
You've got to be playing in that space in order to be able to take advantage of those opportunities, and they do come about.
You can start really small with partnerships. It can be the local netball club and you give them a player of the match voucher on a weekly basis and they come in and the person with the voucher brings 3 or 4 people and then it goes from there. It's a pretty low commitment to start with, and if it doesn't work out then it didn't cost you anything anyway. And if the redemption rate's really high, then it's probably working and you're attracting a crowd.
I think a community develops as a result of having shared values and shared interests. I think it starts really all the way back from the beginning, and that is understanding who you are and what you stand for. Our sense of purpose is about sharing our love of great beer with as many in our community as possible through consistently exceptional experiences. It really resonates with us, it resonates with the people that choose to work with us and with our customers. Anyone that can tap into that sense of purpose is how community is built. So it has to be authentic and it has to be built on shared values.
I think community definitely translates into commercial success through loyalty, through people having something to buy into more than just the schnitzel on the plate or the beer in the glass. They're coming to the venue because they believe in the community that is representing. And I think that's where the commercial success comes from, because they'll choose something that resonates with them and their own beliefs over something that is just a transaction.
If we do something that's not quite right, our community will tell us about it pretty quickly. When people say, I come to your venue all the time, I love it, I've got to tell you this time it wasn't quite where it should have been. And people will mainly do that if they're invested in what it is that you're doing. And that's really valuable feedback. And I don't know whether they would be bothered to do that if they weren't part of the community or invested in your brand or your product.
If I had to give one piece of advice about building a community around your brand, it's got to be consistent. You can't go and create a community if the way you treat your staff is different to how you're trying to be over there, or if you're doing it just for a commercial reason. People can see through that. Whether it's your suppliers or your team or an external community, you need to treat them all the same. Otherwise people are going to second guess it and wonder what you are about.